There is just this trend in modern society, I see on social media when I go outside, when I touch grass and breathe in fresh air. I notice this. People love to hate, man. People just love to dogpile on things that generally don't deserve it. And the worst part is, when something is already hated, it's human nature to just hate on it more. For no reason. Seemingly no reason. People love to hate. So for that reason, today I'm going over some cars that are commonly hated. You can see them here, and I'm going to stand up for these cars, at least most of them. Some of them I will not be standing up for, but most of them I will be a voice of reason. I will be defending these cars. So if you guys are just always going around hating on things like these cars, it's time to stop. Now, I know what you're going to say. Isn't it super hypocritical for you to be talking about not hating when your video history has quite a bit of it? Correct. The second thing, guys, I know you missed my beautiful face. It will be back, okay? That being said, yes, we are talking about the most overhated cars. These are the tiers here. We have justified, slightly deserved, invalid, or okay, stop hating. It's completely invalid. Then we have stop hating. Frick, man. Finally, 100% overhated. This tier, the hate in this tier is the most unjustified. Our first car on the list that is overhated is the Tesla Model Y/Model 3. I'm putting those together because they're pretty much the same thing. Oh, but they're actually different. There's huge difference in their chassis. Guys, shut up. I'm going to defend you. These cars are genuinely good. You see them everywhere. Why? Because they're good cars. They have great range. They have great performance. They have great features. They're super fun to drive, and there's no serious reliability issues that have come up with these or serious quality control issues, unlike maybe other cars from the brand. But these ones are genuinely good cars. Usually when something's best-selling, there's a reason. The F-150, the Civic, the RAV4, these are best-selling cars for a reason. People buy stuff for a reason. Guys, crazy game here, all right? Crazy concept. But these cars are actually pretty good, okay? I guess another part of the hate is that the Elon situation with, I don't want to get into politics here. It's not a political channel by any means, but, a bit of political turmoil. Guys, it's a freaking car, okay? It's a car. It is a vehicle. It is a vehicle for transportation. I do not care. Okay, stop hating. This is going right into stop hating. Next up, the Nissan Juke. Now, Nissan has, dropped a lot of doozies in the past, and more like the present, they're currently terrible. But the Nissan Juke is one that has particularly garnered a lot of hate. I think the reason for this is just the looks. I think that's really the only reason. Obviously, Nissan as a brand gets a lot of hate because of their CVT transmissions, but you can get the craziest trims of these cars. So Nismo, Nissan's racing brand, there's some acronym. It means something, but it's basically racing. And you can get a raced up, souped up Nismo version of this crossover SUV. No one else is really doing that. Holy. Sorry about that, guys. No one else is doing that in the game, okay? Nobody else is taking a boring compact crossover and souping it up to a Nismo race version, to something with a manual transmission. I think it has around 200 horsepower. That's pretty sick, okay? However, it's not a good car by any means. It's not as bad as people say, but it's not good, okay? For that reason, I'm putting it in slightly deserved. Next up, you guys already know. I don't even have to introduce these. There's no suspense because you guys know. This is the PT Cruiser. You can see it right here. Now, these cars, first of all, let me just get this out of the way because this is the elephant in the room. These are not good-looking cars, okay? There we go. It's out. They're not good-looking cars. The secret's out, guys. You've heard it. The other thing, all right, the second, and actually, in my opinion, the worst issue is that it's like Chrysler. In general, when you're buying these economical compact cars like the PT Cruiser, just get the Japanese car. I would say, in general, this is going to get me so much hate in the comments. I would say for maybe 78% of car buyers, go Japanese. 78%. I'm putting it there. 22% is, for the rest of the car brands or the rest of the countries that make car brands. 78% of people should just get a Japanese car. So yes, it is a Chrysler. It's not going to be reliable. That's evident when you look online. A lot of owners have had issues with engine misfires, faulty spark plugs, and the turn signal failing, which wouldn't be a problem for some car drivers, but would be a problem probably if you're driving this car. Look, if you have one of these cars, no disrespect to you, right? If you're happy with it, no disrespect, but I think it's justified. Next up, we have the new generation Toyota Supra. Now, the hate here is that they co-developed this with the BMW Z4, the new one. And it's not like this BMW suddenly got blessed with Toyota internals and now it's the most reliable thing ever. The Toyota got the BMW internals, at least a lot of them, mainly the B58 engine that you can find in the M-like cars, that like the M340i, probably some other ones. It's the only one I can think of at the top of my head. But this gets people riled up because this is not a real Supra. No more 2JZ, no more whatever. Now we got the B58. Now here's the thing, okay? The B58 is a fantastic motor. You don't see anyone hating on it in the M340i. But when suddenly it's in a Toyota badge car, people get upset, which, look, I kind of get. When you're buying a Toyota, you might want Toyota reliability. That's kind of the number one thing they're known for. But a performance car like the Supra with a decently reliable engine, okay, as far as BMW goes, decently reliable B58, it's not that bad, okay? And in the big 2025, we still have a manual transmission. I think this is probably one of like 10, 20 new cars produced today that have a manual transmission available. So a 6-speed manual, a powerful motor, and compared with its main competition, which I'd probably say is like maybe the Porsche Cayman S, the 718 is more expensive and has less power. Now you could argue it's a Porsche, which I mean, fair enough, but you know, it is kind of a good value for really how much car you get. For that reason, I'm going to put it invalid. Next up, we have the new NSX. This is like the Supra, another new modern rendition of a classic Japanese sports car. Now the new NSX gets hate because it is way too watered down compared to what the old NSX was. The old NSX was really a true sports car, is known as the Japanese Ferrari. Back in the day, it was innovative. People just loved it. And these cars, people today still love the old NSXs. And then the new one, you come out with this hybrid system. And I mean, electrifying classic gasoline cars, I mean, that never really turns out that well. However, this is still a crazy good supercar, okay? When you look at this from an outsider perspective without, like, you know, the passion of being an NSX fanboy, you realize it's actually a really, really cool car. These cars are known as like one of the best dailyable supercars. They also get great gas mileage and they're just really cool. They have pretty good performance and a lot of innovation. Not too much to say here. Stop hating. Next up, okay, we're getting out of the unattainable cars, back into the commoner cars with the Kia Soul. Now, this car mostly gets hate for being a box. I mean, you can kind of see in the picture. I'll throw one up. It's a box. And people also don't like the previous gen, the one that was sold like 2018-ish. That looks terrible, and I agree with that. But first of all, the box brings a ton of practicality. When you make a box-shaped car, you know, the stuff you can fit in there is crazy. I mean, you just get so much more cargo room and so much more headroom for the same size car pretty much, right? They're also good value. They're incredibly cheap cars and you can fit a lot of stuff and comfortably fit 5 people in it. And honestly, the new gen doesn't look terrible. Look, the box shape, not for everyone, myself included. The only thing I'd say is probably hit or miss Kia reliability. I don't know about these Korean cars long term. For that reason, I'll go invalid. Next up, you guys were waiting for this one. We have the Cybertruck. You guys have been waiting for this, all right? Let me lay it down, okay? I'm going to do this as objectively as possible. I'm not a Tesla fan. I'm not a Tesla hater. I'm a Tesla pacifist. I'm a Tesla neutralist. Let's get it. Now, first of all, the looks. Again, we have to get looks out of the way, even though it's probably not that important. Again, like everyone else, when it first dropped in 2019, the design, I was very against it. It's a very polarizing design. But now, you know, the more I see them on the road, it's kind of growing on me. Okay, I hate to admit it's kind of growing on me. Let's put that aside, okay? Looks don't really matter. Now, first of all, I've talked about big, dangerous trucks a lot. I'm not a fan, and the Tesla Cybertruck is no exception. This car is massive. It's insanely heavy because of the battery. It's got a sharp front end, which is terrible. That's like a pedestrian killer right there. The other thing is that it's super lifted. You guys know how I feel about these race trucks. There's also quality control issues with the panels falling off, but you know, that's nothing crazy. A lot of new cars do have quality control issues right out the gate, especially the Cybertruck has never been launched before, so that's excusable, but still an issue. Like I won't completely excuse it, and it's nothing crazy compared to the competition. Like the F-150 Lightning does a lot of the same stuff because it is just a big, polarizing, kind of dangerous truck. I'm gonna put it in slightly deserved. The Prius, the Toyota Prius, man. First of all, let's talk about the new gen. It's sexy, it's beautiful, I love it. No one's really hating the new gen. Let's talk about the previous gen, the XW50 generation. I had to look that up. I do not have Prius generations off the top of my head. The XW50 gen that was produced from 2015 to 2022 is a great car. Look, is it attractive? Not in the slightest. Not an attractive car. But is it like really good in pretty much every single other way? Yes. Crazy gas mileage, crazy reliability, comfort, practicality. That's all you need in a car, okay? If you're not looking for a performance car, that is all you need. It is a Toyota. It is the pinnacle of Toyota, okay? Efficiency, reliability, safety. It's got it all. 100% overhated. Next up, we have EcoBoost and V6 Mustangs. So, you know, a traditional Mustang, a traditional muscle car should have a V8 engine, okay? True purists will only accept Mustangs with that Coyote V8. However, you can option the Mustang with an EcoBoost 4-cylinder making just over 300 horsepower, or in the older gens, you can get that Duratec V6. Now, here's the thing. Why does this car need to have a V8? I get a true muscle car is V8 because the whole point of muscle cars is to have muscle, that being in the engine with the amount of ponies the engine is putting out. I get it. Okay, I get it. But can you still just enjoy a car without the terrible gas mileage of a V8? Yes, you can. Okay, 300 is plenty. I think, yes, the car is kind of heavier than maybe like a BRZ or Miata, those Japanese sports cars, but it's still a good amount of power. The only thing I'll say is that if you want a lighter powered, more efficient sports car, you might as well go back to that BRZ Miata, lose out on some horsepower, but get better reliability, better handling. However, these cars are still valid, okay? If you have an EcoBoost or a V6, don't let the hate get to you. These are cool cars, just don't up-badge it. But I'm going to put this at invalid. Keeping on that Mustang train, the Mustang Mach E. This is the new electric SUV that is directly competing with the Model Y. Now let's compare it to the Model Y. From a first glance, it is cheaper by a good amount than the Model Y. And also, it still has very good range and very good performance. Not as good as the Model Y, but it's also a good amount cheaper. It's an all-around pretty good electric SUV. No major reliability issues yet, but again, we'd need to wait long-term for that. Here's where it gets the hate, is the name. Mustang Mach E, okay? If you thought people are complaining about this not being a real Mustang, people complain about this even more. And usually I wouldn't care about something as petty as a name, but I have to kind of stand with the enthusiasts here. Look, it's a great vehicle, but you could have named it anything else than a Mustang. I get it sells, right? You want to sell to the cool moms who want to have like that Mustang brand name. I get it. Moms are like the #1 clientele for these SUVs, but look, it kind of waters down the name of Mustang when you put it on these electric SUVs. And then since these are getting more produced than these, now the Mustang name is slowly going to become more associated with these cars. Again, doesn't really matter, but is disrespectful to the biggest fan base behind any Ford. Look, it's a good car. I'm not going to be childish and say it's terrible, but I kind of understand why people are upset about it having the Mustang name. Finally, we have the infamous plug-in hybrid supercar, the BMW i8. Now, why is it infamous? I answered that. It's a plug-in hybrid supercar. People aren't too receptive to that. Compared to its competitors at the $150,000 new price range, say a 911 or maybe even an R8, yes, it's underpowered. It has a plug-in and 3-cylinder combo, making 369 horsepower. And yes, at the time, $150,000 for that is a little bit overpriced, but then you got to consider, first of all, it's depreciated like crazy. The combination of it being an eco-friendly car with it being a BMW has hit this car like a brick. This car has depreciated so low compared to what it was, and now it starts to look like a bargain. It's got a full carbon chassis. It's got pretty good performance, 0 to 60 in around 4 seconds. Nothing crazy, but not bad at all. It's got these cool butterfly doors, and yeah, now it's a lot cheaper. So, you know, it kind of seems like a bargain. It's a pretty cool car in my opinion. It looks fantastic also in my opinion. I don't think this car is that bad, okay? People need to stop hating on a car like this. Stop hating. That was all for the video. As always, suggest your stuff down below. I always read the comments, okay? I try to get to all of them. I always read them though. I love you guys. Thank you for watching.